game, like, it do have close combat. Oh, I just died, but I'm gonna come back to life. It do have close combat, but it's really basic and it's kind of disappointing. And the reason why is because this is G.I. Joe, and looking at the clips in the movie and everything, you would think that these guys got some serious, sick, badass moves. You can fight with them and everything, and no, it don't. It got like basic 1-2 punch, a kick here and there, and boom, there's your combat. So I'm disappointed in the combat, but it do come in handy considering it gives you better like bonuses, you know what I'm saying, when you want to you know, upgrade and get some stuff. So that's cool. Woo, blew him up. Now, another thing about the game, which you just saw, is that when you die, you come like right back to life. So, me personally, I love that because I don't like restarting all the time with games. I like, you know, just pick up the game, go ahead and go. Like, you know, so that's something that I really, really like. I'm glad that they added that. They needed to do that. So that's cool. As soon as you die, you come like right back to life, same spot. So that right there is hella cool. So I gotta defeat this turret. Boom, beat that turret. That's what I'm talking about. Now what's cool about those items that you see right there, you, instead of going towards the items and pick them up, you can actually shoot the item. And that'll help you out too. Oh wow, you gotta be careful of those rocket launchers. Now, one more thing I want to talk about with the gameplay is the vehicles. Like the vehicles is like real hard to control. I wish I had a vehicle right now to, you know, show you visually. But the vehicles is hard to control, and the reason why is because they set it up with the analog sticks when they could have easily had X for your gas, square for your brake and reverse. You know, something simple, but instead they made it with the analog stick. So when you control a vehicle, it's as if they're trying to make you control a person like the way the people are controlled in this game. It does not work at all. So the vehicles is disappointing as well. I mean, the vehicles is cool as far as the design and what they do, but controlling them is, you know, not so cool and everything. So that was one of my gripes in the game. But as far as overall gameplay, the gameplay is smooth. It has a lot of gameplay features to it that's real good. You have a large selection of characters you can choose, which brings unique gameplay. It's not repetitive. You got a cool cover system. So there's a frame rate drops. So overall, the gameplay is solid. And now we're gonna move on to another part of the review of the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. The gameplay is real good. We're gonna move on to something else. Peace. Yeah, Hip Hop Gamer, I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay footage. So now you see what the game is like, you know, pound for pound. So you decide whether you want it or not, you know what I mean? But the game is pretty cool. Now what I want to talk about right now is the graphics. Now the graphics is nothing special about this game. To me, like, the game has like real low poly. Like the game is real like low polygons. But the explosions look nice. You know, like I said before, explosions look, you know, real nice, like as a surprise. But overall, the game looks low poly. The textures is kind of bland, washed out in a way. So the character models, it just looked like it's undone. You could tell that they rushed it. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that, you know, a lot of gamers is gonna blame, you know, the developers. You know what I'm saying? But when you on a time schedule and you got to get a game out the same time as a movie, then there's a lot of things that you want to do that just don't happen, or that you can't, you know, do in time. You see what I'm saying? So it's real crazy and everything. But I just wanted to like let you know my take on the graphics is they're not impressive at all and stuff like that. It's pretty good things here and there, but I mean there's a lot of 2D sprites on the trees. It's not popping. So graphically the game ain't really all that spectacular. Now moving on to the presentation. The presentation is kind of like non-existent. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the presentation, it's like there's no clips from the actual movie, and the presentation that you see in the beginning of the game is actually good. Like it's actually pretty like cool, like the way they set things up. But after that, the presentation value just goes down. Like, dog, it's not really popping. So the presentation to me could have been a lot better. But what they have is like, you know, there's a guy in the picture. He's talking. Then you go through your mission and you play the game. Like it's so don't expect to get this big overwhelming movie like presentation like in the movies, because you're not going to get it. Alright, so the presentation really isn't all that at all. All I can say is that, like, my suggestion is that it would have been great if they did add some movie clips. Like, I give you an example. In the game, when you turn into G.I. Joe, like when you get the super G.I. Joe suit, it would have been crazy if they had it set up where you do the G.I. Joe suit, right? And when they say "Go Joe," a clip of the movie shows you turning into the Super Joe suit, and then it goes back to the game you saw playing. Now that right there would have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? And certain levels that you're going into, like you can show some of the movie portion of that level and then go into the game portion of the level. Like, just to add that presentation value to make you see something else. You know what I mean? I think something like that would have been like real cool. But they didn't do that. Now, as far as features in the game, this game comes featured packed. Like, you got your cartoons, so especially if you're a G.I. Joe fan, you got your cartoons you can sit back and watch, which is crazy. That joint is hot. Then on top of that, you got a ton of unlockables. So there's a lot of things in the game that you're gonna see that's gonna blow you away as far as like the unlockables. Now, there's a reason why I'm not mentioning the unlockables right now, so stay tuned. Also, the fact that you got the characters, like the characters in the game, what's so cool about it is that all the characters that you love is in the game, but there's also characters in the game that you're not even going to see in the movie that you can unlock and play with. So that right there is even crazy, extra added value and stuff like that. You know, so in terms of the features of the game, the stuff it has in it is mind blowing. In terms of the gameplay is good. Like, the gameplay is really good and really fun, and it has that traditional arcade feel. You know what I mean? And then, like, you can be sitting at home playing the game, and you know your homegirl, your homeboy, or whatever could just push start, join in, play the game. That joint right there is smooth. Like, that's really, you know, fun to do that. You know what I mean? And then, in terms of graphics, that's an epic fail right there. The graphics ain't popping and stuff. So, from what you guys seen and from, you know, what's in the game, you know, check it out more often, see if it's something that you want to get or whatever. But I would tell you this, my personal score of the game, I would have to give the game a 6 out of 10. The reason why I give the game a 6 out of 10 is because the graphics is really like that bad, and throughout the whole game this is what you're looking at, and it could put a damper, you know, on the overall feeling and the experience, because when you look at things and they don't look impressive, it has a tendency to get boring, you know what I'm saying, throughout the game. So that right there is a major hit. That's one. Two, the gameplay is really good, but it's not perfect. It still has its own flaws. So even though the game is real good and real fun, it still comes up short in certain areas, like the camera view and everything. You know, like I said, I felt that right there was a, you know, an issue. But other than that, the gameplay is, you know, solid. Now, if you look at the features blow you away. The features is crazy. Now, I would say this game is a rental. So rent it, check it out. If you're a fan of G.I. Joe, I would say buy the game, because I think all G.I. Joe fans, considering you're playing with your favorites and everything like that, and you got so many things you can unlock and that whole experience, I would say buy it. You know what I mean? Support that. And for the hardcore gamer that just want those elite top quality games or whatever, this ain't the game for you. Straight up, it's not the game for you and everything. So my personal opinion, you know, I would say for the average gamer, you know, recommend it. If you are a fan of G.I. Joe, go out there and buy it right now. And for the hardcore gamers, this may not be for you. Alright, so now, since I reviewed G.I. Joe, let me give you an even more in-depth look at G.I. Joe. Welcome in my homie right now, my man Matt. Check him out, because he's the person who had hands-on the development side of G.I. Joe. Alright, so one love, God bless. You already know what it is, dog. Peace. Yo, it's the Hip Hop Gamer Show. I have a special